The Lap International Formula 2, the Europa Oil Sidecars, the Molle Yamaha 600 Series, the Metzler Tyres Production Series, and lots more. Racing starts noon each day, so be there and experience the thrill of international motorcycle road races. Wanganui and Gracefield, Lower Hutt.
First of today's rounds of Formula 1. We already have a day's racing of Formula 1 at Wanganui, and the points at this stage before they start at Gracefield. Robbie Phillips from Australia leads with 32. Robert Holden of New Zealand close behind him on 29. Then Stu Avant, Dave Hiscock, Rodger Freeth and Norris Farrow. Now, any one of those, with the amount of points available today, anyone could win the series. We don't expect Dave Hiscock to be hanging back. Stu Avant theoretically has a bike that should be able to win here, but the permutations are almost endless, and one imagines that Robbie Phillips won't be giving away too much either. One or two of the stars for Formula 1 have not got to the start line. Paul Feeney, unfortunately, had an engine problem a little earlier on in the day, and he won't be starting. But we still have Phillips, Holden, Avant, Hiscock, Freeth, Farrow in that order in terms of points. Graham Crosby, it's almost a stab in the dark as to who might win until we see the first race and see some of the form.
Well, I would suggest that we've got to look for Stu Avant. He's got the bike, he's got the performance of that bike, he's got handling, he's got experience. I don't know, there's no way in the world that I'd put money on anybody winning all 3 races or 2 races, but I know that Stu Avant's going to, I reckon, win this one. I'd say he'd be going around here and possibly breaking the lap record down to between 50 and 51 seconds.
We have that lap record of 53.36 set in 1976 by Pat Hennon on an RG Suzuki, and that on our calculations gives you somewhere around 210 kilometers an hour average speed. This circuit is exactly 2 kilometers around. We can expect speeds of between 150 and 160 miles an hour in the front straight. And as Graham Crosby said a little earlier, the development in bikes since Pat Hennon set that lap record should mean that it will go easily. We saw in practice a little earlier on today that these fellows were, the quickest of them anyway, were cruising around in 56s. They're away in the first leg. Webb Williams pulling a wheelie up there. Stu Avant up into the corner. Robbie Phillips first through. Stu Avant, Dave Hiscock behind him. Then Rodger Freeth. Then Norris Farrow. Robert Holden. Stu Avant right behind Robbie Phillips. Hiscock up to second in front of Avant. Robbie Phillips leading.
Robbie Phillips is the Australian Superbike champion 3 times in a row. Looks like he's a little bit down on horsepower. Could be that Dave Hiscock's finally got his thing sorted out after a few problems that he had at Wanganui.
Yes, Dave Hiscock at Wanganui had carburation problems, and in fact was only running on 3 cylinders for the second and third races of the day. It was only towards the latter stages that he got the bike going properly. Dave Hiscock, as you can see, has got that bike going a lot better now. Robbie Phillips, first time into the front straight, and on in third place. Phillips being overtaken by Hiscock. Who's going to get into the corner first? No, Phillips is still there. But Dave Hiscock has already demonstrated that in a straight line, he appears to have more power than does Robbie Phillips. Stu Avant just hanging in there in third place.
Hiscock looked as if he's got the drive out of that corner and just looking in front of Robbie. Robbie has been having great problems. He's got air scoops over the front wheel to try and keep those front brakes as cool as long as possible.
Stu Avant slips underneath Robbie Phillips in the second place. Dave Hiscock, Stu Avant, Robbie Phillips, then Robert Holden in fourth place. Go back to Rodger Freeth. But Dave Hiscock already starting to stamp his mark on this race. After only 2 laps of the 10-lapper, Hiscock, Avant behind him. Avant taking it perhaps just sussing things out for a lap or 2.
Well, he's got to get his tyres nice and warm. I think everybody's got to do that before they start pushing fronts into these tight, fast corners.
Dave Hiscock starting to pull away just a little. Robert Holden going wide on that corner. Can't see if he got round or not. Rodger Freeth through in fourth place. Right, Robert Holden's missing. He missed the corner. Went wide and around the outside. So Dave Hiscock leading Stu Avant. Avant not letting him get too far in front. Robbie Phillips in third place.
Holden has rejoined the circuit. I think he'd be well down, probably around the 10th spot.
And it's going to take a lot of making up. Forget about his chances in the race. You can't afford that kind of mistake and still come back in this company. Dave Hiscock on the superbly built Steve Roberts frame Formula 1 Suzuki. Stu Avant on the Grand Prix RG Suzuki 500 two-stroke behind him. Robbie Phillips on the Katana Superbike. Rodger Freeth has moved up a little. They're starting to space out just a little now. I wonder how far in front Stu Avant can allow Dave Hiscock.
I don't think you'll be letting them get too far away.
Stuart, all the theories in the world may not be quite or precise when it comes to the crunch and it comes to the race, because Stu Avant's bike was being picked by most people beforehand to be the quickest bike here. Hiscock, Avant, Phillips, Freeth, Norris, Farrow is the order at the moment.
Looks like Dave has sorted out his problems that he had at Wanganui. He was complaining his suspension wasn't 100%. They lifted the ride height to try and keep Dave up off the seat so he didn't have to bend his knees so far because of an earlier crash earlier on in the year.
Just having a look at the straight line there, there's not a lot between the two bikes. Dave Hiscock doesn't have any substantial margin over Stu Avant in a straight line. Somebody else has just gone wide around that corner and into the pit lane.
I think there's a lot of people having great trouble here today. It's not cold, it's a warm day, around 17 degrees.
Dave Hiscock starting to get fired up and into his stride now, and he and Stu Avant starting to pull away from the rest of the field. Robbie Phillips still in third place. Rodger Freeth fourth. Coming round the lap back markers already. 4 laps into the 10-lapper. Dave Hiscock, Stu Avant sitting right on his tail. The way he's sitting that close and that pulling away from the rest, I wonder, Graham, if he's not just playing a waiting game at the moment.
No, I don't think Stuart would let Dave have that much of a lead. I would think that Stuart is actually trying, but I don't think he's relaxing as much as what you think. And likewise with Dave Hiscock, he'll be trying pretty hard. As big a gap he can put between him and his fellow competitors, the better and the safer he'll feel.
Dave Hiscock halfway into the race. Dave Hiscock with Stu Avant still pounding him, but not close enough to get a toe in the straight.
Where Stuart loses out is the two strokes have a power band between about 7,000 to 7,500 up to 12,000 RPM. The four strokes tend to pull from a lot lower RPM and have got a stronger and wider torque band.
As you saw, they're just going into the front straight as soon as they get out of the corner. Stu Avant seems to manage to hold on to the tight and twisty bits. Not that there's a lot in this circuit, it's mostly straights. Corners are not the kind of fast corners that a Grand Prix bike will give an advantage over an F1 bike in. Stu Avant and Dave Hiscock. Hiscock's holding on to Avant. Avant staying there within touch. But he's going to have to make a move shortly if he's going to make a move. They're pulling well away now from third place. Robbie Phillips, Rodger Freeth back there. Peter Benson on the Bob Haldane TZ750 Yamaha, just getting in the way of Stu Avant a little bit there. Dave Hiscock getting some advantage from that.
Yeah, there's another back marker just put himself between Stuart and Hiscock to make things even more difficult.
So now Dave Hiscock with just a little bit more of a gap between he and Stu Avant. Stu Avant looking back to see where third place is. 2 laps remaining. Hiscock first into the corner. There's Stu Avant waiting for third place now. Now that's an amazing recovery if he's on the same lap from Robert Holden. I don't think he lost enough to be a lap down.
No, I don't think so.
He's on the same lap. That was an astonishing recovery from Robert Holden. So Robert Holden on the Suzuki-powered Formula 1 bike, which was Dave Hiscock's once. Then Bob Toomey took it over. It's still Bob Toomey's bike, but he's injured and Robert Holden is riding it for him. We'll keep an eye on that and get a confirmation, but that is a brilliant performance to get back from going wide on the corner, being out of contention down in 7th or 8th place and fighting his way back to 3rd. Dave Hiscock, Stu Avant, Robert Holden, Rodger Freeth. Hiscock really looking like he's stamping his mark on the race, though. And once again, like Wanganui, Graham, so smooth.
He doesn't look as if he's trying. He just sits on the bike and everything sort of flows in front of him. He doesn't have the knee out style, the ragged edge look.
So still Dave Hiscock, Stu Avant trying to keep in touch, but gradually slipping back a bit. Lost some advantage getting around back markers when they got between Hiscock and himself. There's Robert Holden. We go back to Rodger Freeth, I think, in 4th place. Still Hiscock pulling away from Stu Avant on the final lap. They've had the white flag, so Stu Avant really a little late in his move. In terms of points, this will be good for Hiscock, who was slightly behind Avant. Avant had 26 and Hiscock 25, and Phyllis and Holden out in front of them with 32 and 29 respectively. And this will give Hiscock the lead in the series. So Dave Hiscock, if he's in this kind of form today, maybe now the favourite for the series overall. On his last lap, checkered flag this time round. Dave Hiscock through this section. He's only got the left hander at the end of it. Onto the front straight. Stu Avant still in 2nd place. Have a look at the style of the Wellingtonian. Now racing overseas. Dave Hiscock will get the checkered flag this time down. Hiscock wins. Avant 2nd. Leg 2 of Formula 1 at Gracefield. Lots of wheelies being pulled up there. Racing into the first corner, Robbie Phyllis, Rodger Freeth, Stu Avant, Robert Holden. Robbie Phyllis leading them round through the first corner. Stu Avant up there as well. Dave Hiscock handy in 3rd place. Norris Farrow going into 4th. So amazing racing in leg 1 of this event. Robert Holden came back, having dropped down to 7th position and raced his way back up to 3rd. On lap time, Stu Avant had a 52.7 and a 52.8. Dave Hiscock had a 52.6, and we believe unofficially that Robert Holden had a 52.5.
I was speaking earlier to Stu Avant. He was saying the problem he's having is that Hiscock's bike's too fast. So it just goes to show you that the 4-strokes are definitely a thing to be reckoned with around this even long circuit.
Development in the last few years has brought them up so that Dave Hiscock leading away with Robbie Phyllis, getting underneath Robbie Phyllis there. Stu Avant will want to be handy. Talking to him just before this race a few moments ago, he said he was still looking for a way to beat Dave Hiscock, and thought he might have to stick his neck out a little bit to do so. Robbie Phyllis still sitting in 2nd, Avant 3rd, Holden coming up 4th, then Norris Farrow. Rodger Freeth back there. The problem Rodger Freeth had in the first leg was that he lost the fluid out of his rear brake. And Glenn Williams had a problem with fluid as well. He popped the seal on his front forks and got fluid from the front forks all over his exhaust in the front of the motor, and he couldn't continue. I wonder if
that was from doing too many wheelies, Tony. When the forks come down with such a bang that the hydraulic fluid being pumped up in the seal sometimes just don't quite hold that in.
Quite possible today. Hiscock leads in. Robbie Phyllis got Holden up past the bike. Holden into 3rd, Avant 4th. Well, while they're racing away for 2nd, 3rd and 4th places, Dave Hiscock's taking advantage of it, getting as far out in front as he can. Robbie Phyllis trying to hold on to it. Phyllis didn't feel happy at all with the circuit in the first leg. He said that he felt it was too bumpy to do things right, and he really felt that he would have been sticking his neck out a long way to being in contention.
See, Norris Farrow's moved right up there into 5th spot, just behind Avant. He actually did pass Stewart earlier on.
Here's Robert Holden up to 2nd in front of Phyllis. Avant back behind him, Norris Farrow high-sides it over the top.
Looks okay. There doesn't seem to be too much problem there. Bikes in the middle of the track. That was a classic of what we call high side. A tyre letting go. You can see the black mark there, gripping and then pushing the front the opposite way.
A nice little gesture from Kevin McGee as he came round immediately afterwards, letting let's have a look at it again.
Just watch the back wheel. There it goes.
Well, he was actually lucky to get out of that without being hurt.
In actual fact, Norris did a very good job there of doing almost a judo-style fall.
Very lucky to get out without being hurt of that. Norris Farrow putting him out of contention, but Dave Hiscock, meanwhile, has pushed away to a nice comfortable lead at the moment. Robert Holden looks like he's going to try and give him a run for his money, and he must be the form rider today outside of Dave Hiscock. He certainly looks to have the measure of most, but Robert Holden, Graham, is the man who's been doing amazing things.
Robert looks as if he's got himself under control here, and I wouldn't be surprised if Dave's going to have to pull something out of the bag, because he's going to be looking over his shoulder, and there's Robert Holden right there with him.
So Dave Hiscock from Wellington, Robert Holden from Wellington, Stu Avant, originally from Christchurch, back in 4th place. Hiscock already lapping back markers. Number 107 is Philip Simpson under Suzuki 100. Hiscock, Robert Holden, Stu Avant, Robbie Phillips, and then Rodger Freeth is the order at the moment. Robert Holden and Dave Hiscock taking different lines into the front straight. This bike that Robert Holden is on is the same bike that he ran with a different number 3 at Wanganui. They've given it number 4 here for some strange reason, but it's actually Bob Tooby's bike that was originally Dave Hiscock's bike. Formula 1 bike, built up very, very well, but obviously he's good on this circuit, and Robert Holden looks like he's going to give Dave Hiscock a run for his money.
I think Dave's going to be in control. I don't think there's going to be any problems with Robert Holden. Hiscock knows, I think, he's there.
Dave Hiscock holding out Robert Holden. Robert Holden riding really for all his work. Stu Avant in 3rd place, but starting to lose touch just a little. Let's see if Dave Hiscock can pull out a couple of fast laps. Something we've come to expect from Dave Hiscock is when he's challenged like that, he can just raise it a notch. I wonder if he can do it here and pull out a second or a couple of seconds.
Well, the time I just got Dave Hiscock on there was 53.89 seconds, which isn't all that fast.
Great racing between Hiscock and Holden. Dave Hiscock being strongly challenged by Robert Holden, and meanwhile Stu Avant is closing up on him in 3rd place. Robert Phillips still back in 4th, and then Rodger Freeth. I wonder if Stu Avant is actually catching. Yes, he is. Stu Avant making up ground on these two while they race in front of Robert Holden and Dave Hiscock. Now Hiscock has just pulled away just slightly. See if he can raise it a notch.
When you get 2 or 3 riders riding together in close company, you find that the lap times actually drop for some reason.
Slow each other down, which has been to Stu Avant's advantage at this early start of the race, because Avant has closed that gap up in 3rd place, and now really is almost close enough to challenge. Hiscock, Holden, and Avant. Good close racing, Brad.
It is, certainly is.
Just in the last half of a lap, starting to look like he's just rattled slightly. Normally a man so much in control of what he does. Stu Avant getting behind 2 back markers there, losing just a fraction.
Yeah, Stuart's going to be in a bit of bother there, because those back markers, although they are minding their own business, it just sometimes happens that they exactly where you want to put your motorcycle. They're just there. So you can't make life very awkward.
Challenge from Robert Holden. One wonders on the form of this race if he might not have been challenging Dave Hiscock exactly the same way if he hadn't overshot a corner.
I was thinking that before, Tony. He ran off the track in the race before in the front straight, regained in position 6, and then worked his way through to 2nd, which I think was a fantastic feat.
Stu Avant has dropped back again in 3rd place.
Back markers, I guess, probably slowed them up there. It's very awkward trying to ride these Grand Prix bikes around here, because they just don't have power every time you want to use it. Sometimes there's just not power there.
You've got to be in the right place in the red range to have the power in the right place. A bike designed for the Grand Prix circuits, not for street racing. Dave Hiscock still trying to get away from Robert Holden. Stu Avant dropped back just slightly on the last lap. He was within. White flag out this time round. So on the last lap, and Stu Avant may have lost the opportunity he had about a lap ago to get close enough to challenge. Robert Holden sitting behind Dave Hiscock. I think Graham Crosby, you might be right. He's got Mike Robert Holden's quick enough to challenge but not to pass.
Holden, I hazard a guess here that Holden will run up behind him on the entrance to the Esters and run wide through the Esters, so he'll try and slip up underneath him all the way around the corner prior to the front straight.
The order of the race at the moment is the order of the points table as well. Dave Hiscock leads from Robert Holden from Stu Avant. Let's have a look. Down to the front straight this time. And waiting for the checkered flag. Straight sprint to the line. Dave Hiscock still in front. Robert Holden pulling up second. There's the checkered flag for Dave Hiscock. Robert Holden second. Stu Avant third.